What's up, Phoenix fans? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to some Planet Zoo. And I gotta tell you, it is good to be back recording again because I had an entire week where I couldn't do anything due to a computer issue. Basically, I was upgrading my PC. The motherboard I bought was faulty and I just couldn't do anything with it. So I ended up having to wait an entire week before I could get a replacement, but I got everything back up and running again. And I can finally record the voiceover for this time lapse here. So let me kind of talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing. So this is an entirely new Planet Zoo series that I'm going to start. We're going to be doing franchise mode on this one, and I'm going to try to actually do like an actual franchise zoo as realistic as I possibly can. So I'm basically kind of challenging myself because I've played through franchise mode during beta and hated it. And I said I would never, ever play through franchise mode ever again. So here I am playing franchise mode. So the thought behind this is that I want to see if I can actually build a zoo from the ground up using only the tools I'm given and see if I can make it as realistic as I possibly can. And that's my goal. That's my challenge that I'm setting forth for myself. And we're going to start, of course, today with the entrance. So this would have been probably a whole lot easier if I was in sandbox mode and I had more options to building pieces, but I did not. So I'm actually going to go through quite a bit of my starting funds here, just trying to build this entrance out. And I'm having to do a lot of very detailed work. Because again, I don't have any of the actual stuff unlocked yet. I don't have like a lot of the modern day stuff, like the wooden pieces and stuff like that I could use. So the way I'm going to get around that is I'm just going to use a lot of beams and a lot of small pieces to make the buildings that I want, which in the end actually worked out quite good because I think this actually came out possibly some of my best work I've ever done in Planet Zoo so far. Like I've been kind of doing in Planet Coaster here lately, I've been making a lot of buildings and stuff out of just planks and boards and stuff like that because the wall pieces just aren't giving me the actual like kind of designs and stuff that I want. So instead, I am just kind of doing what I can here with this. So I did notice that something just kind of skipped on me there. That was the actual building of the fence. So the fence itself was quite a challenge. I had to find just the right pieces. There was luckily these little tiny thin planks that worked good for grates, and that worked well. So here I was kind of thinking about using these walls, but I just didn't care for the walls. So instead what we're going to do is take these and we're going to make these into, again, I'm going to start using just the boards themselves to make these, and I think it came out pretty good. So like I did try to see kind of what the boards and stuff would look like there, but it just wasn't really working out for me. So instead I'm going to take each of these beams, I guess you'd call them beams. So I'm going to take each of these beams, I'm going to turn them and just place them in here and then copy and paste them, like basically four of the same beams. And I'm just going to place them back and forth like that and spin them around so that they get just a tiny bit of a different texture per board. Now, thinking back on this, like as I was getting closer to getting finished with all of the work that I was doing here, I probably should have used the 8-meter beams and also I probably should have used the paintable ones as well instead of just the wooden ones. That way I could have chose what color I wanted. Instead of, I actually ended up kind of wasting money here. So each of the beams, whether you do with a 4-meter or the 8-meter, is still like $5 a beam. So if I'd used the 8 meters, I wouldn't have had to double up there to make them the height that I needed. So it would have been better off and cheaper in the long run to do that. But I wasn't thinking about it at the time I was actually building this, so I wasted quite a bit of money doing, just basically what you're seeing here. So, and a lot of people have been complaining on my videos and stuff here lately that I don't do any time-lapse videos anymore. So hopefully this actually will give you some justice. I told you that once I got a new video card that I actually would start doing time-lapse videos and stuff again. and kind of doing these things like this, because I know a lot of you guys actually enjoy the time lapses. I prefer not doing the time lapses and having to do this because it cuts down on recording time and I can get the videos out quicker to you guys, just kind of talking about what I built. But a lot of you want to actually see me build what I built. And for this, since I didn't build this on stream or anything, I literally just built this in my off time. Nobody else besides you guys have seen this. I did tweet out like a quick teaser picture of it, just kind of showing off a little bit, but I didn't really show a lot. I think I showed an actual better picture of it in my Discord channel. Speaking of which, if you're not in my Discord, maybe you guys should go ahead and pop into that. So the link is in the video description down below, so go ahead and check that out. That would be fantastic, guys. Very much would appreciate it. Also, if you're not following me here on my YouTube channel, make sure you hit that button down below to subscribe, and also to click the bell to be notified of when my awesome content goes up. I play in a lot of different stuff, not just Planet Zoo, but also I'm a huge Planet Coaster player for people out there who don't know me. I prefer Planet Coaster because I'm more of a theme park guy than a zoo guy. But yeah, I'm just trying my hand at something new with Planet Zoo. For those who do know me, you know that I'm not the biggest fan of Planet Zoo. It is definitely not my favorite game in the Planet franchise so far. I really wanted it to be. I thought the game would be fantastic before it came out. I did have my worries and concerns knowing how Frontier has done Planet Coaster and like supporting it and stuff like that and fixing bugs. So I did have my concerns, but I thought, well, surely they've learned. Well, they hadn't. But with this last update, the South America DLC and the last patch that they put out, I gotta say it's a step in the right direction, because they did fix a lot of stuff that I had issues with, as well as some other things. And I'm starting to think that, like, a lot of my problems with the game is that they decided not to do recolorable pieces in the original. Like, in the original game, when it came out, no recolorable pieces. And that was a lot of the same thing they did in Planet Coaster. And what I don't understand is that when Planet Coaster was in beta, we raised hell until we finally got recolorable pieces. So the fact that they forgot this, or they decided not to do the recolorable pieces in this one, I don't understand what their thinking was behind that. Because again, most of us are like, we want recolorable pieces. With the South America DLC, they actually gave us more recolorable pieces. And I'm hoping that that is going to be a sign of the times, a sign of the future, and that from now on, a lot more of the DLC is going to have more recolorable pieces and stuff in it. So one can hope anyway. I would like to see them go back and do a lot of the original pieces that they gave us and add recolorable options. That's something I would like to see. I doubt it's going to happen, but it would be something that would be kind of nice to have. Right here, as you're watching on the screen, I noticed this when these are those new glass pieces that we got in the last new free update, and I'm noticing that I'm selecting them, but they ain't being highlighted, and I don't quite understand that. I was like, why is that not highlighting? Am I not getting those? And I finally figured out that it wasn't actually just, I was selecting it, it just wasn't highlighting. So there's some kind of bug. Not sure what, but definitely some sort of bug there. And hopefully that's fixed in the future, because it makes it really hard to know whether you have the glass panel selected or not. But anyway, I digress. So back to what I'm doing. Like I said in the beginning of the video, doing this, if I had the modern pieces that you can unlock through research, would have been a whole lot easier, because I could have used the walls and stuff. But you know, in the long run, I actually think this comes out better, because I get the angles that I want, I get the pieces that I want, and I'm having to do everything by hand, and I think it just comes out better. I really do. Like I said, I honestly think that this is some of my best work I've ever done in Planet Zoo. And I can't wait for you guys to see the final product here at the end of the video when I go into that. This was kind of a challenge here, because I had to figure out how to use the glass pieces and get the kind of picture that I wanted, because I was kind of going off of a actual real life zoo. If anybody knows what zoo this is based off of, let me know in the comments below. I know, but I just want to know if you guys can figure it out. So if you do happen to know, let me know your guess in the comments below. But the entrance that I'm using is based off an actual zoo. And it was probably one of the nicest designs for an entrance that I'd ever seen. And I was just, I stumbled across it, and I had the idea, you know what, I want to do that. So I've been kind of holding this photo in my photo albums for a while, in my images, and I finally had a reason to actually go back in there and do this. As I was saying before, with the new update and stuff to the game, it's actually, I've kind of am getting more into the game now than what I was before. My main concern of the game is the non-recolorable pieces, but they are fixing that now, and just doing what I'm doing right now, just using these beams and stuff to be able to make what I want. It is a lot more work. It's 10 times more work, but the end result is 10 times better. So I'm probably going to be doing a lot more of this from now on, since we don't have the recoverable pieces and stuff. I've been seeing people make Planet Zoo stuff that is just beautiful to view, just absolutely stunning to see. And I'm really just, I wanted to get into it, and I really wanted to play it, but every single time I would play the game, I would just get so aggravated with it, and my creativity just wasn't there for it. So as you can see, I'm finally getting a little bit of creativity, and I even kind of have an idea of where we're going to go after this episode as well. I just have been wanting to actually record this episode, do the voiceover for it, show this to you guys, which was supposed to have been last week, but if it hadn't been for my computer problems, you guys would have seen that by now. But like I said, all that is now in the past. It's all fixed as of today. As of about a couple of hours before I'm actually recording this right now, I finally got everything resolved with my computer. I got my new motherboard came in, my replacement. I was able to get everything installed and working. This one worked, no problems. Didn't have any issues installing it. And everything's good. So I'm now running a 9900K, which is like almost a 5 gigahertz CPU, which is really, really nice to have. It's going to help out a lot, I think, as far as rendering times in Adobe Premiere. So I'll be able to make videos a little quicker. Really, I can't wait to get into Planet Coaster and try it out in Planet Coaster and see what kind of upgrades I can get as far as frames per second. So I'm excited. It was not a cheap CPU. They run about $500 a piece. Plus I had to have a new motherboard. So I am still using the same memory, but I do have some more memory on the way. I've got 32 gigs of DDR4 3200 coming in, so that's going to be nice. So one of the little details that you're going to see me doing right now is I wanted to put these, looking at the picture of the zoo, they had these potted plants sitting up front. So I had to kind of come up with an idea of how I was going to do these potted plants. So I used the abstract shapes, and I used the cone and tried to basically sunk it down into the ground. And then I kind of made it a little taller by putting the flat circles on top of that to make it actually look like an actual potted plant. And then we'll stick a little bit of just some flowers down in it right there, just trying to find the right flowers, and we'll put those down in there. And then I went through, you guys don't see it because I skipped this part, I actually cut this out, but I went through every single tree that was in the game to try to find the right tree to put here. I finally decided just to use the cypress tree. It was the only one I liked as far as going there. I think it came out pretty good. I wanted to do something a little different, but I still think it came out pretty good. So then I'm just going to basically copy that and move this around to get these potted plants over here. And then we're going to move over to the other side over here where for this one, I really wanted to use the cherry tree right there. I absolutely love this cherry blossom tree. It is probably my favorite tree out of all of Planet Zoo. I love it. And I also love these the soil patterns. I don't really know what you'd call these. It's on the tip of my tongue. I know what to call it, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. But I think these things are really nice too. They really let you kind of do what you want to do. So we're coming up on the very end of the time lapse here. And I don't really have a whole lot else to say. Basically, I've kind of rambled on. But like I said, what we're doing is the zoo, it's going to be a franchise mode zoo. And we're going to do an exhibit at a time. And we're going to try to build it out and actually try to make money from it using actually, the way, very challenging the way that the game is played in franchise mode. And we're going to try to make this as realistic as we possibly can. It's a whole lot like I did one of my first Planet Coaster parks. So, where I played the park through challenge mode year after year. Except in this one, we're just going to build as we get the money and try to build it up and make it look nice. So with that being said, let's go ahead and look at the final results so I can show you guys what this looks like in real time. I think you're really going to love this.
Okay guys, here we are in the live view so I can showcase to you what I have built. So a lot has happened since the time I actually stopped recording and doing this one right now. So I did the time lapse, right? I built all of that. That was about 2 weeks worth of work I put into this. And then I did the voiceover, recorded all that as I did the time lapse and everything. And then I went to load up the game and all of my stuff is gone. Everything in Planet Zoo is completely gone. It's just like it started me over from the very beginning. And what happened was when I rebuilt my computer, I had to reformat my hard drive, which has never been a problem ever before because everything should upload to the Steam Cloud, as it does with City Skylines, as it does with Planet Coaster. But for some odd reason, none of my Planet Zoo stuff carried over. None of it got saved to the Steam Cloud. And I don't understand what happened, but it's all gone. So since I last ended the recording and did that voiceover just a few minutes that you just got done listening to, I had to completely rebuild every single thing that I built. So that's why this video is still just a little bit later than what I intended, is because I did have to rebuild all that. So with that being said, let's take a look at Riverside Zoo, the humble beginnings here. So I've got a sign here. This is using Ricey's font. It's a very, very good font. I really, really like it. Quite popular on the workshop right now. A lot of people are using these. And I did a sign here for the beginning, but let's step back a little bit, shall we? And show you everything. So here we have the entrance, the humble beginnings of Riverside Zoo, which is going to be my franchise zoo park. And as I was saying in the time lapse, we're going to try to make this as realistic as we possibly can, building as we go, and try to get the guests and stuff to visit, try to make the money so we can improve the habitats and actually just play it out and have some fun with it. So every single bit of this, as you can tell, had to be done by hand. As you watched in the time lapse there, all of these buildings, every single piece of it is all like just beams and planks, and there's some things on here like the roofing and the windows and stuff, but glass panels, which we got in the last DLC, or actually it was not even in the DLC, it was a part of the free update. But I think it looks pretty good, and I can't wait to get into the rest of it back here, which we will do shortly. We'll probably do our first exhibit in the next episode. I really like these cherry blossom trees. I think they really, really fit everything very nicely here. And over here we have these little potted plants that I made using abstract shapes and different things. So yeah, and like I said, I had to rebuild every single bit of this. Everything that you saw me build in the time lapse, which took about 2 weeks, I built this again. Luckily, it didn't take me as long. It didn't take me 2 weeks. I kind of knew where I was going with it, so I didn't really have to think about what I was doing and how things were going to fit together, because I kind of already knew how things were going to fit together, and it was a whole lot easier to do it the second time around. So about a day and a half later, and this is what we have. So yeah, I think it came out really, really nice. I think this is some of my best work I've ever done so far in Planet Zoo. And I can't wait to keep building more in it and actually play in it. So as much as I'm mad at the game right now for deleting every single thing that I have, including my other zoo, Phoenix Zoo, for my other series, completely gone. I don't know if I'm going to start over on that or what I'm going to do, but it's all gone. All my blueprints gone, everything. It started me over from like fresh, just like I just installed the game for the first time ever. and it really upsets me because I don't understand why. I know it was set to save to Steam Cloud. It's a default thing, and I never changed it. And my Planet Coaster stuff is all there. I made sure to load that up, and yeah, that's all there. So I don't understand what happened to Planet Zoo, really. But yeah, I wasn't happy about having to rebuild this. But on the plus side, I have more money to spend on the zoo now because remember hopefully you guys listened to the time lapse and stuff, and I remember I had said there were some mistakes that I had made things I wish I was able to change when I was making it, such as instead of using 4-meter beams to use the 8-meter beams so they're longer, and that way I don't have to double up on it for like if I want this really tall wall. This is all made out of just one single beam and just put across there instead of like just a beam here and a beam down here. So it's all one single beam, which saved me a bunch of money. So yeah, I think it looks a whole lot better now, and I think it basically looks about the same. It doesn't look better, it's still pretty much the same, but it is built better and it is built cheaper, and I saved a bunch of money by switching to Geico. But no, I think it looks really, really good. Like I said, I think this is some of my best work so far. The only thing I haven't done on this version yet is I had built these glass doors over here, like by hand, because I don't like any of the doors that we have in game right now for what I needed here. So I literally just took glass panels and built actual doors and stuff in there, and I couldn't remember how I did it, and I didn't have any video of me doing it, so I don't remember how so I'm gonna have to go back in there later and add the doors back on here. We're also going to add some bathrooms and some other stuff. So now that you guys are getting a full look at the actual zoo, hopefully you guys know what zoo this is actually based off of so far with the entrance. So I'm only basing the entrance on this particular zoo, and the rest of the stuff is all going to be like just based around other things that I've seen, concept art, all kinds of other stuff. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. I really, really love it. It's, again, I believe some of my best work ever in Planet Zoo. And it all came out really, really well. So I think I'm just going to have to start making everything that I want to make in this game just out of beams and planks and stuff, because that seems to be the only way I can get what I want and be able to recolor it. So as I was saying, I think Frontier is on the right track now with Planet Zoo. The last few updates have been quite good. The last DLC was really good. It had a lot of recolorable pieces in it, so I think they figured out that we do want recolorable pieces. And I think I was saying this in the time-lapse part of this, but I believe that part of the reason that I was just having so much trouble and having so much creativity issues was the fact that we didn't have the recoverable pieces. Not only that, just not having as many pieces in general. I think what it is I'm so used to Planet Coaster and having so many pieces to play with, and just like a lot of small pieces that we can make other things out of, and just such a variety, just a huge variety of pieces after so many DLC packs and stuff we got, that I feel like I'm just used to that now, and this game just feels incomplete to me. So maybe after about a year or so of updates to this game and DLC and stuff, maybe it will be something I'm genuinely happy with and what I actually expect out of the game. So because I know you guys know, if you watch my stuff, you know I've had issues with this game since the very beginning, since beta, and it's finally seems like it's actually coming together now as far as like being a playable game to me. I know lots of other people out there consider it to be a playable game. Lots of other people love this game. I personally wanted to love this game. I was extremely hyped for it. I just was not happy with it. And then the beta came and went. Things weren't fixed after the beta. And but this last few patches and the last DLC, I think, is a step in the right direction. Of course, if it's one thing I've learned from Frontier, it's like they take a step in the right direction and then they take 2 steps back. That's what they did with every single Planet Coaster DLC. They'd make one good one, and then like the next 2 updates would be horrible. And usually whenever they do an update, whenever they fix something, they mess other things up. So there was a lot of people who are having some trouble with this, not being able to load their games and stuff. But I, for one, apparently lost all my stuff, all my blueprints and everything. So, yeah, it sucks. But I don't know what I'm going to do with Phoenix Zoo. I also don't know why this popped up here. Oh, I need to turn that off, apparently. Everything is new on my computer. Everything is reinstalled, so I don't have all my settings and stuff like fixed up yet. So hopefully I'll get all that sorted out soon. It shouldn't take me too much longer. But here we go. This is Riverside Zoo. This is the beginning. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you like my design for the entrance? Do you like where we're going with this? Do you like my new stance towards the game? Do you also let me know in the comments below what you think our first exhibit should be after we get through the entrance right here. I kind of want to do something kind of like up front here, and I just don't know what I'm going to put there. I have a couple of ideas, but I don't know what specifically we're going to do. But basically, you guys can help me build this park as we go. So we're going to go with a small exhibit, probably like right in this area right here, right at the very entrance of the park. Something just to kind of grab people's attention, something fun, something small, basically, like small animals, not lions or anything like that, or just a much smaller enemy. Most of the time when I'm building these, I usually will put something like flamingos up front. Like with Phoenix Zoo, I put flamingos right there. When I did the park that I was building in the beta, I did flamingos up front. So I'm constantly doing just like the flamingos. So I want to go different, and I don't know what just yet. So what do you guys think I should put down there? Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below if you want to see more of Riverside Zoo as we build it, and more Planet Zoo, and more Planet Coaster, as well as a bunch of other games that I play here on my channel. You'll also be able to hit that notification bell and get notified when I am streaming live or when I am posting another video. In the meantime, guys, that's going to be it for me. I hope you have enjoyed this little look here and the time lapse of the building and construction of all this. And yeah, just let me know your actual comments down below. I want to hear from you guys. Interact with me. Talk to me. What do you think we should do? Let me know your, do you have any quarrels with what I've built here? Anything like that? I'm happy with anything of that except discussing my opinion of the actual game. Like I said, I think they're headed in the right direction now. I think the game will be playable soon. It's playable now for me. I feel like my creativity was just not there. And again, like I said, I think what it is just I'm so used to Planet Coaster and having so many parts and stuff that I guess I was spoiled a little bit by having so many pieces to work with. And this game just doesn't seem to have that many pieces, although it does have a ton of foliage options. So that's a bonus. But yeah, the game just, it wasn't there in the beginning to what I expected out of the game. And it didn't reach the hype levels that I was at before the game came out, because I really wanted this game to be great, and I just wasn't happy with it. But I think they're going in the right direction. So, and maybe some of you guys out there agree with me as well. So I know, like I said, I know there's a lot of people out there who don't particularly care for my opinions on the game because I'm so negative about it. But yeah, I'm taking another look at it, and I'm trying to be a little more positive about it and enjoy the game. So, because I do like the animals and stuff. It was just every single time I would try to go to build, I would just get so mad and angry because things weren't working right and not being able to recolor stuff. It was just I was just so upset and angry at the game for not following the basic stuff that Planet Coaster followed. And I just don't understand what their thinking was behind that. But I think we're going in a better direction now with the game. I think they are going to start doing more recoverable pieces. At least I hope so. And they have fixed a lot of the construction problems that I've had. Although the 3D gizmo seems to be messing up now in Planet Zoo. It seemed to work fine in the beginning, and now it seems like it's messing up. So there is that. They're getting to that point there. So anyway, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for taking my first look here at Riverside Zoo. Again, let me know your comments down below. I will talk to you guys later, and I will see you in the next video. Wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.